Good morning and welcome to this morning's Kickstart. We're so glad to have you watching this morning. My name's Jay Walther.
And I'm Brad Neufeld.
And we've got another great little video for you today. It's going to start out with a quote. Brad's going to come on with a tip, and then I'll have a fun fact for the day. So today's quote is from Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Let's try that again. Unsuccessful people make their decisions based on their current situations. Successful people make their decisions based on where they want to be. I love that quote.
Yes. Does that go along with that thing? Never make a decision when you're in a bad mood. I don't know if it goes that way.
Well, if you make your decisions based on where you are, you're going to pretty much stay where you are. But if you make choices and goals and stuff on where you want to be, you'll get there.
Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, don't ever give up when you get that goal. Just keep going for it.
Yep.
Keep going for it. All right. Well, our tip for today, Jay, we're still staying in the framework of this is our week of learning, how to learn. But let's talk about this. What kills our desire to learn is what we're going to talk about today. I just have a belief that if you understand why you do what you do, it makes it a lot easier to work with. It gives it a better framework for you to understand why you do what you do, and then you can do something about it. You'll find that out later on when we talk about procrastination. That was interesting how I did that. But anyway, let's talk about what kills our desire to learn. Well, the number one thing that kills our desire to learn is no goal or no dream. If you don't have a goal, if you don't have a dream, if you don't know what you want, you're not going to have a desire to learn. It's just cut and dry, guys. That's just the way it's going to be. The desire to learn is not going to be there. That's why it's so important you take the time to set those goals and get your dreams going and decide what it is that you want to do and who you can be for the rest of your life. There's never a bad time to start. You can always start now. And I know I like to use this example here with Colonel Sanders. He was late after retirement before he ever got started. And he was broke, guys. All he had was his Social Security income. I don't remember how much it was, but it was a very low amount. And all he had was that in his chicken recipe. And he felt like, you know what? I haven't accomplished everything that I want to. So he went around to several restaurants across the nation trying to get them to partner up with him to sell his chicken. Well, long story short, when he finally passed away just before the age of 90, guess what? He was the third largest food chain in America. So it's never too late to start. Okay. So get that goal, get that dream, and get it going. The number two thing that kills our desire to learn is there's no interest or you see no significance in what you're studying or what you're learning. Now, this applies a lot when you're in school. Colleges and trade schools and all that will always teach you things that you just go, why do I need this? There's nothing here. I'm never going to use this. Oh, this is famous for algebra in high school.
Yeah.
Okay. Almost every student I ever worked with said, why do I need algebra? Well, then when I would actually give them an example of what algebra was, it was amazing how they would, how they would respond. Like I would use an example. I'm here in Utah. So wherever I was, I would say, all right, how long does it take to get from here to Salt Lake? And you'd see their eyes go up and they would start figuring some stuff and they'd come back and say, all right, it takes about 45 minutes for me to get to Salt Lake. And I'd stop them and say, let me tell you what your brain just did. Okay. You think you're just remembering, oh, I've been there before and I'm just trying to figure out or remember how long it took me. No, your brain goes, okay, yes, I've been there before, but it took me 5 minutes to go from where I'm at right now to the car. Okay. Then I was able to go 35 miles an hour from here till I got to the freeway. Then I got on the freeway and I was able to do 70 miles an hour from there to there. It looks a lot like X2 minus, plus Y squared, right?
Yeah.
Well, then all of a sudden they would start to see a significance. And I would tell them that your brain actually works in algebraic equations. So then they started to go, oh, okay, well, use that for the fuel there. So when you run into that, one of the simple ways to fix that is to stop for a minute and say, okay, what is there something about this thing that I have to learn? What is there about it that I can relate to my goal or dream? And if you ask that question, you'll find something that'll make it more fun in order, or more interesting for you. Okay. And if there's just no way that this is something I'm just not interested in, see if you can change your subject. See if you can go do something else to get your history credit or something like that. If you're not happy with the class that you have, shift that. But don't just sit there and stew on it. You want to keep learning as much as you can. Every bit of information you take in, you'll be able to use at some point in your life. I'm a big believer of that. So number 3 is you either have, that kills our desire to learn, is you either have a fear of failure or a fear of success. Okay. And I always love talking about those. We all understand what fear of failure is. If those 1,500 words per minute that are going through your head up here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week are saying such things as, oh, what if I put all this time and effort into this and it doesn't work out? Then I've wasted all that time. Well, that's the fear of failure, guys. If you have those words up there, the quickest way to get rid of that is just to say, you know what? I will pursue this dream that I have here. And no matter what, I'm going to learn something. I'm either going to learn something that works, I'm going to learn something that doesn't work, but at least I'm learning.
Yep.
And you just push through that fear of failure. Now, fear of success, why would I be afraid of success? I get that question a lot there. Well, actually, a lot of people are, because we all go through this process where when we see that things are starting to change in our life, when we actually are pushing to get this thing that we want, and we all of a sudden have other people, remember the crabs in a bucket? I know we talked about that a few weeks back, where they actually, people will, when they see you're being successful, they'll try to pull you down. They'll say things to you that, what do you want to do that for? You're never going to be successful at that. You've never been good at anything like that. Nobody in our family has ever been good at that. You'll hear those kind of things. And they're trying to pull you down. Well, people don't like those little things being said. So they'll actually self-sabotage and stop. We're afraid of getting that success. One of the ones I love to hear is, well, I don't want, after going through this, I don't want to be successful, because then people will be coming to me asking me for help, and I don't want that. Oh, okay, great. So
yeah,
who's stopping you? It's not the forces out there, it's yourself. Okay. And finally, number 4, I love this one too, that kills our desire to learn, is a belief that you were born with less than a perfect brain. That used to say something totally different when I first came up with that concept, but I had to change it because people were getting offended. But but anyway, all of us have this thing up here. I mean, as far as brain challenges go, yes, I'm well aware that there's people out there that have brain injuries and things like that. I have one myself. Okay. And this one that I got about 12 years ago, where I had a brain abscess, and it's been a challenge to work through, but guess what? I didn't let it stop me. I just did what I could every day, and things just continued to get better. But guess what? Our brains learn, for the most part, all the same way. Okay. We put something in it, and we want to, and we need to take that information and dissect it and turn it into something that we want to do. If we're holding ourselves back, bottom line is just because we don't want to do the thing that's in front of us. It's not that you're stupid. Okay. You have a very powerful thing here between your ears, like I like to say, and learn how to use it. And you can always call us here at Resilience. We want to help you with things like that at any given time. But that's our tip for today, Jay, is just don't let these things kill your desire to learn. Just push through it and keep going.
Yep. Well, cool. Today's an interesting day is apropos. March 18th, we recognize National Awkward Moments Day. Now, as you've been listening to Brad, you may have noticed me rubbing my eyes and trying to get whatever is in them. I'm having my awkward moment here on video while Brad was talking. So this is a perfect day for me. I was always awkward. Between the 9th and 10th grade, I grew 7 inches. And so I would trip over the print in the carpet.
Oh, really?
And so, have you ever called someone by the wrong name, or tripped over something that wasn't there, or walked into a door, or, had the complete loss of words or the wrong words come out, celebrate those things today. You've had your awkward moment, your awkward moment.
Yep.
This
Close
is a
enough.
day that everyone can relate. Trips.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, but
So
just
to get through your awkward moments, find the ability to laugh at yourself.
yeah, have fun with it. That's what I was going to say. Just
Right.
have fun with it.
See humor in the awkward moments, celebrate, relive an old awkward moment like me, tripping over print in the carpet or the smooth spot in the road, all those kind of things by telling stories and laughing about them. So everybody's had those awkward moments. We've all been awkward teenagers. We've all had things happen that we didn't plan that everybody saw and wondered if you were normal or had lost a few marbles. I know people think that about me quite often. So anyway, it's a national awkward moment. So live up, all you geeks out there, live it up and
live it up today. You have permission to be awkward today.
That's right.
All right. Well, let's continue on with our introduction for all of our hosts that we have on the Resilience Talk Network. And who I want to introduce to you today is the man who is sitting beside me here, Mr. Jay Walther. Jay started his podcast a couple of years ago. And go ahead, tell them a little bit about why you started the podcast you do. I love the name of it, Rebuilding.
That's right. So, and I've added a little bit to that. Rebuilding by design.
Rebuilding by design. I love it.
Rebuilding your life. That was what started me with that podcast. I'm in the process of trying to, rebuild who I am and make a better me. And so what I've started this podcast, like Brad said a couple of years ago, talking about ways you can overcome fears. We face our fears. We learn how to do the things we're afraid of, and they're not fears anymore.
Yeah.
You find obstacles, you learn how to overcome those obstacles, and they're not an obstacle anymore. And so that's what I focus on. And I'm trying to, one of my obstacles is I never was a real good public speaker. I enjoy talking. I enjoy learning, but I never really felt like I was a good public speaker, that I had ideas that people wanted to hear. And so that's one of my fears that I'm learning how to overcome, and learning about how to do these podcasts and learning how to speak, to what I know, and to help other people understand what I know and learn from other people as I interview people on my show. And I've learned a lot of great things. I've talked to people who've lost children to suicide and had, suicidal experiences or addictions or things like that they've overcome, and how they've made their life better. And I think that's why we're here, is to not just kind of float through life. I know a lot of people, my kids, that just want to float through life. They don't want to make an effort. And I think that's why we're here on this earth, is to learn and to grow and to design who we want to be and learn who we want to be and build that person that we want to be. And so that's what I talk about.
Yeah. And you've had some great guests on there. I know one time you got Dr. Benjamin Hardy on there. Yeah. Here's our quote for, I think, yesterday. But
no, he's today.
Oh, he's today. That's right. Forgive me there. But anyway, you've actually had him on your show, and that was a great show. I remember that one. I love what he has to say.
Yeah. Yeah. He taught me a lot about, this thing we're talking about, my fear of doing this, where it kind of started. And so, and like I say, I've learned so much from all the people I've talked to. So.
Oh, that's great, Jay. But you can catch Jay's show. You can catch his archives, obviously, on our YouTube channel at Resilience Talk Network on YouTube. And you can go to to Jay's playlist. He's got quite a collection there. Also, new episodes, when he puts those out, they'll be on the radio station. And 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
6 p.m. Mountain Time, yes, every day,
yes, every weekday, Monday through Friday. And Jay's even got quite a following in Germany. We love that. So it's because he's got the last name Walther, right?
Yes.
So anyway, but go ahead, Jay, wrap us up here today.
Well, okay. So thanks for watching and listening to us here on our morning Kickstart. Make sure you subscribe and click that little notification bell so you know when each new video comes out. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see your comments. It lets us know somebody's at least listening to us. So
yeah, absolutely. And that always makes us feel good, right?
That's right.
Helps our self-esteem.
Self-esteem. We don't feel quite so awkward when we know people are listening to us.
That's right.
Like Brad said, you can listen to our show live on resiliencetalknetwork.com. You can listen to show archives there. We'd love to know what you think. Love to know what you're wanting to learn. Maybe we can research our tips towards stuff people wants to learn, or our fun facts about things that you'd like to know about. So let us know, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, tomorrow's Friday. Looking forward to it.
All right.
See you then.